Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. SVT 40. Yeah, I won Ian's Tokarev Rifle. How nuts is that? In this video, I'm going to tell you all about the whole experience from A to Z. Plus, I'll roll in some footage from my maiden voyage to the gun club with my grand prize this Friday. So Ian, over at Forgotten Weapons, for those of you who didn't know, has been doing these giveaways for a while now. It seems like he's been doing about one a month on average. I'd never entered any of them before this one. Be honest with you, I never win anything, and my historical collection is very focused on pre-1946 Soviet and Imperial Russian stuff. And Ian hadn't offered anything like that prior to the SVT 40 in January. So when it was announced that this was the January 2024 giveaway item, this 1943 SVT 40, I told my wife about it. She's extremely perfect and extremely pregnant, and we were supposed to have a no-buy policy in effect for January in preparation for the baby. But my sweet girl is so cool and so supportive of our little pile of historical collectibles and my hobbies, which she shares in, that she insisted that I buy a coffee mug so that I'd have a chance at winning the giveaway. I said, no, let's buy more diapers or wipes or whatever. But my wife is the best woman on this planet, and she got up out of bed and grabbed my credit card out of my wallet. She stuffed it in my face and told me to go and buy my coffee mug. So I headed over to get entered to win, and I bought my SVT 40 coffee mug, for which I got an entry in the giveaway. Me and my wife brushed our teeth, and we got ready for bed. Before we fell asleep, I said to my wife, "Babe, do you think we'll really win that rifle?" And I'll never forget it. Without skipping a beat, my wife says to me, "Yeah, it's already yours. I can just feel it." I laughed, and the next thing I knew, it was morning, and my alarm was going off for work. Days went by, weeks. I forgot all about it. As I said, I've never had that kind of luck. I can't recall ever winning any kind of giveaway or contest or drawing or anything like that. So life is moving like normal. I go to work. When I come home, I'm getting our nursery together. I'm tearing out wallpaper, scraping it clean with a razor, painting the room a sage green like my wife wants for the baby, installing new home security system, just routine, normal life stuff. So it's a regular Wednesday, the last day of January. Now, this is a day I've been looking forward to, but not because of Forgotten Weapons or some internet giveaway. Something at work. So I'm an English teacher, and I had this student last year. Timmy is not his name, but it's what I'll call him here. Timmy was maybe not quite ready for college work, but he was ambitious and hungry, and he kind of reminded me of myself at his age. He used to ask me about my watches. Eventually, I asked him why he didn't wear one, since he clearly had an interest. And he told me that he had a watch, but it was too heavy. It had this giant metal bracelet on it, and that he wanted to get a watch that was leather like mine. And I told him, you don't need a new watch. Just measure your lug width and get a new strap from Amazon or whatever. It's easy. Well, Thanksgiving came and went, and then it was finals season. And I never saw Timmy wear his watch. But Timmy did claw his way to a C in English 1101. And he asked me at the end of the fall semester if he should take 1102 with me in the spring. And I told him, well, it's harder, but I think it's also more fun. We read cooler stuff. And the kind of books and stories and essays we read in 1102 are more likely to result in personal growth if you take them seriously. So, Timmy, I say, be brave. Sign up for 1102. And Timmy told me he'd think about it. So, I didn't expect to see him again. But he surprised me. He was undeterred, and he registered for 1102, which he's taking now. We're reading Kurt Vonnegut's Mother Night as part of our unit on satire, and I realized that this guy still isn't wearing a watch. So I asked him what the deal was, and he said that he just didn't know what he was doing. I could tell that it was not a competence thing, but a confidence thing, that he just lacked the confidence to do this on his own. So I told him, go ahead and bring your watch in, and we'll take care of it together. So we measured the lugs, and I determined that I had a suitable 22 millimeter crocodile leather strap back home in my personal inventory, which I was happy to donate to the cause. So this Wednesday, January 31st, me and Timmy sat down after class, and I showed him how to use a spring bar removal tool, which I also donated to his burgeoning horological interest, so that in addition to acquiring a snazzy, free new leather strap, Timmy would also learn a skill that he can pass on to some young man when it's his turn. So I asked him, after we finished up putting the leather strap on his watch, if he was happy. And he shook my hand and he said, yeah, Mr. G, I'm real happy. I asked him, could I take a picture with him? Just of our wrists, you know? And he told me, yeah, so I took a picture and I'll roll it in here. And guys, I'm telling you, I was just flying after this. This was my victory. It gave me so much, I don't even know what to call it, joy, I guess. And I got to see my student learn something and light up. And finally he got to wear his watch that he's owned and left sitting in a dresser drawer for who knows how many months or years. This was glorious victory right there in the classroom. And I got to share a little knowledge about something as cool as wristwatches with a good kid who's going to do good things in his life. And I got to share a little knowledge about something as cool as wristwatches with a good kid who's going to do good things in his life. And maybe he'll remember that day. Just a super cool experience, one that makes me grateful for my work and my life. So I'm just walking on air, heading back out to the car to drive back to my office on main campus. And I check my phone while the motor is warming up. I text my wife back. I tell my mom, thank you for coming to the baby shower. And then I see all these missed calls from New Jersey. I don't know anyone in New Jersey, so I'm thinking this is spam, right? Then the New Jersey number texts me and says, this is Amanda from Get Entered to Win. Can you call me if you get a second? My antenna is up at this point. Like I am suspicious that maybe I've won this thing, but still I've got this pessimism in the back of my head. I'm not a lucky guy. I don't just win free stuff. It never happens. So I'm waiting for them to offer me a race car deal on more coffee mugs or something. But I call and I don't get an answer. Then they try to call me, but I miss her. We're playing phone tag. Finally, we connect. And she says, I know people don't like to answer calls from unknown numbers, but you're going to be really glad you answered this one. And now I know. I know, but I don't know. It's almost like my brain won't let me believe it until she says the words, which thankfully she doesn't make me wait long for. Amanda says, "You were randomly selected as the winner of the Tokarev Rifle we're giving away in partnership with Forgotten Weapons this month." And to Amanda and GETW to win, you were so kind and so patient, and I think I owe you an apology because when you told me you won, I'm pretty sure I told you, no, I didn't. I don't believe you. Which probably seems like a strange reaction to winning a super cool World War II issued Russian battle rifle. But I was all out of words. Never in my life has anything like this happened. I didn't know what to say or how to act. Anyway, from there, I got my local shop to arrange the transfer, and GETW legal people got in touch with me to go over some paperwork. I sent a picture of myself with my snazzy coffee mug, and they announced me the following Monday as the official winner on the GETW website and also on their social media. Now I'm going to confess to something just a little embarrassing. I must have refreshed the Forgotten Weapons Instagram page 200 times over the next few days to see if Ian had made a post announcing the SVT 40 winner. What can I say here? I'm a fan of Forgotten Weapons the same way you're a fan. Like everyone is a fan of Forgotten Weapons. Ian does great work. I've been watching for a long time, and you're telling me my face is going to be on Forgotten Weapons? Like, come on. Of course I'm going to be excited. So I'm refreshing, and then I get a call from my dealer to come pick up the SVT 40. It's only been a week since I found out that I had won, and already it's here in the shop. So I zoom over there with my super pregnant wife, who I made take pictures of me at the counter, and I filled out my 4473, and I took my ladies home. And I told my wife that she gets to name the SVT 40, since she's the one who encouraged... No, that's not even the right word. She insisted that I enter, even during our no-buy January. So thank you, Sugar. I love you to pieces. She hasn't named the rifle yet, but the honor goes to her when she's ready. I was able to take the SVT 40 out to my favorite spot today, my home club, American Patriot Gun Club in Hortense, Georgia. If you're ever down south and you need a good place to shoot, y'all go see Bob and Sonia. Tell them I sent you. They're the best people you could ever hope to meet. Great facility, outdoors, 500 yards, steel targets everywhere. Definitely check them out. Anyway, I removed all the modern stuff from my range kit, and I spent the day with my modest collection of historical firearms. I think I need to do that more often, just leave all the new stuff at home and enjoy my antiques. Everything today was perfect. I had the place to myself for the most part. The weather was just right. The SVT 40 ran like a top. Everything else worked too. I was hitting targets and sniffing the air and loving life. The SVT 40 shoots way smoother than one I had shot in the past that had the late war 4-port simplified compensator. That late war gun really kind of rattled my skull, but this one wasn't nearly as bad. The recoil is actually a lot softer than you might think, but the blast is enormous. Lots of concussion. I would not want to shoot this indoors, even with ear protection, even with double ear protection. I think that would be a bad idea. It kind of reminds me of the Egyptian Hakim. That's the only thing I can remember shooting that had this same sort of concussive blast to it. But not a ton of recoil, just real heavy muzzle blast, lots of concussion. The rifle itself is more mechanically accurate than you might think, more mechanically accurate, frankly, than I might have guessed. Here's a 5-shot group with 150 grain PPU soft point ammunition at about 50 feet from the bench. Like most guns, the SVT-40 is capable of a lot greater accuracy than most shooters. So for me, the limiting factor with the SVT-40 and rifles like it is the sights. My eyes can't do much with the notch and post or leaf and post style of sights like the ones that you find on the SVT-40, especially when the rear sight is way forward of my dominant eyeball, compared to the sights on the iron sights on like an A1 or an A2 AR-15 or an M1 Garand or an M1 carbine. These leaf and post style of sights with the rear sight way forward of the dominant eye, I just have always really kind of struggled with that. For me, an SVT-40 or a Mosin or an AK or anything with sights like that is basically a 100-yard gun, maybe 200 at the absolute max, but that's pushing it for my eyes. I know that others can do better. I've seen it over the years live on the range. I've seen it in videos over the years, but God bless you, I can't. The gun itself is plenty accurate on a mechanical level, but these sights are a real limiting factor for me. The rifle itself arrived in exactly the condition that you might expect. If you saw the videos that Ian uploaded to Forgotten Weapons, it's 80 plus years old, saw a lot of action through World War II, I'm sure. There are plenty of repairs that have been done, primarily to the stock. The handguard has little fractures in it, but it's what you would expect from a hard-used World War II era battle rifle. And Ian definitely cleaned it before he sent it out to me.
And I'm playing shortstop for the Mets.
Just teasing. It really wasn't that dirty, and I like taking my stuff apart and cleaning it anyway, so no worries at all. Let's wrap this thing up. I won Ian McCullum's 1943 SVT-40. Yeah, I won the Forgotten Weapons SVT-40, one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's a perfect fit for me and my wife's Russian World War II collection, and I am super grateful to Ian at Forgotten Weapons and Amanda and Eric at Get Entered to Win for making it happen. It's been a super special experience for me, one that I'll never forget, and the rifle will always have a home in my collection, which will, of course, end up being part of our kids' inheritance one day, many, many years from now. I'll leave you with this. Maybe you're a little cynical and you had doubts about these giveaways. I'll be honest, I kind of did too, but I'm here to tell you.
They're real and they're spectacular.
Okay, thanks for checking in, guys. Until next time, be kind to the world as you bump into it. Peace.